I think it's really important to have balance in your life. And we are all undergoing a current trauma by being locked in our houses and having to separate and having to deal with how important basic communion is and not having the opportunity to experience it. And then we're also at a flashpoint in our country where we, for the first time in a long time, are talking more meaningfully about what is wrong and what we will or won't accept. And also everyone, I found myself, and I've always considered myself educated and aware. I'm learning things I never knew before, and I'm being given a perspective that I've never been able to have before. And so I've found myself far more serious than I've ever been, far more urgently committed to making real change, and listening to people and being empathetic and then taking real action. And that is overwhelming, and it can be exhausting. And I think as people, you need a real balance. And if you're constantly in an enraged and furious, serious place, then you're not even well rested enough to adequately hear each other and to actually stay energized and motivated to accomplish the enormous goals that we've set before ourselves. And so just having a moment of break, a moment to laugh, to smile, to feel those feelings and feel like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a person. I think that's really important. And even if it's only for 22 minutes, I love having the opportunity to share a laugh with other people.
I mean, I think Seth said it perfectly. We need a respite. We need a break. We need to take a moment, and this is silly. It's adult and irreverent, but it's also a really silly show and a really funny show. And I've enjoyed the laugh. I needed the laugh. And I'm so happy that we're kind of popping into the world at a time where everyone that needs a laugh can find it here. And it's been a gift. And it just worked out. It was serendipitous that it worked out that we were released at this time in the nation and in the world.
I think it honestly, I mean, it goes back to what we all always loved about animation and cartoons is just, seeing a little kid, whether it's Mac in Home Alone or Uncle Buck or an animated, whether it's Tom and Jerry or the Smurfs, but seeing a character that looks as so sweet and innocent, even with armor, it's adorable armor, but then having him drop the F-bomb or slicing someone's head off or garroting someone or, feasting on their guts or laying with their sister, it's just funny, man. And right now is a time where you need that pressure release at the end of the day. Honestly, even to have the strength to continue on the next day with whatever your cause at the moment is or your feelings are, or to have that pressure valve at the end of the day to be able to go, all right, I just want to decompress for a second, laugh, have fun, and go to bed. You know what I mean? And give everyone a hug for a second. And then hopefully you can start the day again with the same amount of renewed energy.
Well, when Harv and Tom talked to me initially about this, it wasn't trying to select a setting that was appropriate for this kind of comedy. Their concept was a very comedic take on these tropes that we were seeing so much of in the height of Game of Thrones popularity and zeitgeist. The idea of telling a very silly or comedic story in that world seemed like a hilarious opportunity. And instead of just doing a straight parody of that, using that world as a backdrop, but with the aesthetic of these hyper juvenile characters, that just makes it all the sillier. So you've got something very serious, a feudal landscape and a mad king and all of these desperate conditions and this idealistic character who wants to do good, finding his own morality challenged by the very people he's chosen to idolize. Like that sets up a great opportunity for comedy. But there is something just inherently silly about very rudimentary characters having incredibly complicated emotional discussions. That it just makes it very silly. So it all worked well to serve itself. But it wasn't as if we had a a board of options and selected, okay, medieval times plus this type of comedy. It just sort of, everything worked in service to this particular idea.
The most amazing thing I'd ever seen, because I honestly didn't know they wouldn't have arms. I don't know why that threw me, because everything was just kind of floating and there was nothing holding it. So that made me laugh just seeing it. And then I loved my character, Sergeant Meghan. I love that she has a little bun like I do. This has become like my signature, this little bun. And she has a bun. And I don't know if she was always going to have a bun or if they added the bun because it was me. But that was really nice to see because it's the first character I've voiced where it actually looked like me to me. So yeah, and the world is so vast and beautiful, and I've visited Stupid Buddy Studios. I still don't know how they do what they do. It's a magic place over there.
I mean, I love Hulu, and I'm watching it pretty much all the time, 24/7 right now. But I'm gonna let Seth, as the producer, he's definitely dealt with Hulu more than me.
They're incredibly collaborative and really supportive, and any of their notes or ideas are never in competition with what we're trying to do. It only looks to enhance it. They only give us information as to how better serve their audience. I mean, it's been awesome getting to work with them. And then they've given us a ton of promotion. They're really pushing the show and making it available to people. And I don't know what else we could ask for.